お時間となりましたので、次のセッション、人生系 YouTuber と考える発明創出のデジタルトランスフォーメーションについてを開始いたします。はじめに登壇者をご紹介させていただきます。まずは AI 侍より代表取締役社長 CEO 白坂はじめ様。続きまして YouTuber やっチャンネル様。そして最後にモデレーターを務めますのは AI 侍シニアマーケティングマネージャー岡部慎介様。それではここからは岡部様にお願いしたいと思います。岡部様、よろしくお願いいたします。
金融分野でですね、航空機と船舶とか、大型のアセットのファイナンス業務をやっておりました。その後ですね、実業の方に移っていきたいということで、リーガルテック、ちょっと聞き慣れない方もいらっしゃると思います。
And then I shifted to actual business, and I entered the world of legal tech, which is a part of IT industry. So now, under the COVID-19, the e-contract is topical, and also in the area of intellectual property, transaction of patent. That's also part of the legal tech area, and I worked on launch as well as expansion of business, and then after that I joined AI Samurai. Today, looking at the panelists. First panelist is Ya-Channel-san. In March this year, he started his activities as YouTuber. Then his channel has 140,000 viewers registered. I'm not sure what life-related YouTuber means, but I'll have him explain later on.
続きましてですね、AI 侍の CEO 白坂はじめさんを
Mr. Shirasaka, CEO of AI Samurai, is participating as CEO. He started out AI Samurai in 2015. In addition, he also founded Shirasaka, which is a patent attorney office, and at the same time, he is acting as the examiner for intellectual property proficiency test. So with those two panelists, we would like to have a talk about digital transformation. Looking at this title, you may wonder why the life-related YouTuber is here. But I'll ask Mr. Shirasaka why he decided to invite life or lifestyle-related YouTuber. Well, firstly, when I first saw Ya-Channel-san, actually it was not on YouTube actually. When I was working for the previous job place, I used to work with him sometimes, and Ya-Channel-san, in the area of cybersecurity and legal, he was working on marketing and sales, especially in relation to intellectual property. And I was also working as a salesperson. And Okabe-san, by the way, in the past was working for our rival firm. So I knew about their channel actually, but when he started YouTube, I didn't recognize him at the beginning, but I thought that person looks familiar because he now has longer hair. But then I noticed him eventually, and then I got in touch with him and invited him to this event. So as life-related YouTuber, he is gaining popularity. So the creation of contents on YouTube seems similar to discovery or invention. So I'm hopeful that we can come up with something as a result of this session. Thank you. So now, this is kind of a reunion for three of us. So I'll have Ya-Channel-san introduce himself as well as the activities in recent days. So let me briefly introduce myself. In Nikkei newspaper, I was in the Nikkei event, I'm the only person whose nickname is used as the introduction, and I'm making a living as a YouTuber. In addition, I'm working as a radio personnel, and also I'm working on the video clip creation. So you may not be able to have a clear sense of what I do working as a YouTuber, but I do receive advertisement fee. And in the video clip creation, what I do is I cover my routine lifestyle, get up in the morning and eating breakfast and going to work. And many people actually are interested to know what kind of lifestyle other people are having. So my YouTube channel is not so extreme. Oftentimes the athletes or MMA athletes have some kind of extreme channel. Well, I don't do that because YouTube is quite restrictive, and I'm concerned about the suspension of the channel, so I don't go extreme. So the number of registered viewers is 140,000, so I'd like to do more. So it is astonishing that you have more than 100,000 viewers, but more big name YouTubers have bigger number of registered viewers. So you are covering gourmet, but are you good at cooking? Do you cook a lot? I mean, no, I probably shouldn't say this, but actually, in the past I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to cook myself in the past. But gourmet trip involves a trip outside of home, but I also cover cooking at home. So your channel-san, the person I knew in the past was an aggressive salesperson. Then after that, he worked as a dispatched worker, and then I'm told that there was a time when he didn't have work. Yes, I left firm, and then I went to work as a private contractor. So you established a firm? Not really. Not really. What I did was, since I didn't like the firm as the organization, so I wanted to do business on my own, but it didn't take off. So I was working as the dispatched worker. Was dispatched to factories and so on. So nothing I can proudly talk about, but I was involved in many different jobs. Then after twists and turns, I came to YouTube, and that luckily took off. So that's where I'm now. So let us move on to the next slide. So this is the progress of the number of registered users. So I started YouTube in March. Initially, the channel was stagnant. Initially, we had only 30 people, and then end of May, due to COVID-19, partially, I believe, the number of registered viewers increased. Then, beginning of June, the number hit 100,000. Right now, I have 140,000 or so. So 140,000 or 144,000 or something. Then what gave you the impetus? I believe routine. It boils down to routine. So I capture the scenes of my day-to-day life, and unexpectedly, those in their 30s, 40s, and 50s turned out to be the core viewers of my channel. So when you hear YouTube, you may associate it with young people, teens or in their 20s. But what I found out was that more senior people were looking at my channel. So right now, it's reached the plateau. Yes, right now, yes. It's not growing right now in terms of the number of viewers. But YouTube channels need some kind of attributes. I was working as dispatched workers initially, so after that, I came to YouTube. So when I quit my dispatched work, then they wonder what I'm doing. So I have to cultivate the segments of viewers who I can target, but I'm still going through trial and errors. So it's a service that's relatively new, so some segments of viewers will find your Tube channel interesting. And I believe as YouTubers go through phases of life, the segments of users could change, right? In that sense, I may be in a transition period. But I cannot tell because there are so many YouTubers and wannabes. In that sense, you are in the same situation in the sense that we are both in a precarious or a transitionary phase. Okay, then next. What is this? So when you hear YouTube, then YouTuber tops the ranking of the professions that they want to engage in when they grow up. I posted a video clip from Solo Camp, and there were several negative comments as well as positive comments. Good comment was something like, I enjoyed the video, but the negative comment included such ones as saying, oh, you didn't have to split the video into two. You could have just aired one video clip. So there are so-called anti-YouTuber viewers, right? They have become a kind of a social issue, right? So there are people who want to make a living as a YouTuber, and once they become a YouTuber themselves, then they notice things that they didn't anticipate. Because, right, in the society, in this day and age, it's rare for individuals to be attacked, whether it is a power harassment or other kind of harassment at workplace. But online, in internet, individual is targeted and assaulted, right? So it's not an assault by one person, but huge group of viewers collectively attacking one person. So that could happen to a celebrity on TV. Then B2B business, as a B2B business operator, I'm not exposed to that kind of an attack or criticism. So in that case, in that sense, I'm lucky. So I hope that you are keeping up your good efforts. But of course, there are negative comments, and there could be some harassments online as well. But it is the indication that they at least take interest in what you're doing, right? Yes. So even those people who are anti my channel are viewing my videos and they are making comments. So in a way, I'm thankful. So are you more immune to such negative comments? Right. I get used to it, to that kind of negativity. That's great. So it seems there are difficulties involved, but thank you very much for the introduction. Now, AI Samurai, for many people, it could be the first time for you to hear what AI Samurai is, but what does AI Samurai do? Shirasaka-san, can you explain? Okay. AI Samurai is a firm that utilizes AI, and Samurai is a concept that's usually associated with professional service providers such as attorneys or patent lawyers or accountants. So those professional service providers' works were targeted as the potential area where we could streamline the business process. We started out our business in the area of patent. So when the patent is secured, then existing technologies, 300 or 500 of them, are searched based upon the search formula. then the professionals review the existing patents that are out there. But if the review is conducted on a one-on-one basis, then it takes time. So if we use AI, then it takes only 10 seconds to decide the feasibility of acquiring the patent. That's done automatically.
So, thinking about the conventional patent or the technicians to do the survey on the bibliography on the left-hand side, like a pile-line fish. So, technology does become more and more aggregated, so that number increases. So, with one keyword in a pinpoint, and if you want to, you judge whether your technology is new. But if you do that, I think the limitation is 300 and 500. But by utilizing our AI technologies, you can do 100,000 or 500,000 surveys in the computer. So I've got a fishing as an image, but on the right-hand side, where you can do utilizing AI, the survey is the proposals that we have. So this is the AI Samurai system. So when we say AI, people think that the AI can do everything, but the AI technology is still limited. And for us, we want to do patent extract that automatically, and the result of the extract and the innovation, we want to compare which one is new and do the analysis. That's where we focus on. So that's the guide overview of our company and how our company is related to YouTuber. Some of you may ponder, but as we spoke earlier on regarding the routine of YouTuber, we have various things. So it's in terms of inventions, people don't come all the way. But if you have a digital camera, you have a face, so you kind of add new things or whatever you have on the basis. So these kind of inventions or creating videos, I think there are some similarities in that. So what do you think about that, Yachanneru? So at first, when I started YouTube, you don't get the numbers immediately. So you want to find somebody who you want to model 3 people. And you try to create your content similar to that. That's the key. That's the main way most people do. But however, then you do hit a wall. So you have to find the space that's open, or else in that sphere, you have to be a pioneer in that area. If you try to follow a similar person, you do come to, you do grow to some extent, but you can't grow explosively. So in that sense, I think there are some similarity. You said that you were writing some pairs. So there weren't some people writing such things as a YouTuber. So in the past, I didn't have families, I didn't have house, and I didn't have any routine. That was the kind of video I had. But not having a home is because I was living at the accommodation at work. But other than that, there were people who were doing similar things that were doing in their 20s, but there was no people who were doing it in their 40s. So that sphere was open. So in the world of patent, there is a space that is open. So in photo printer, that was conducted, but photo printer is something that where you extract face. But because you weren't doing that on a digital camera, it's new. So you were talking about the people in their 20s or in their 40s. So in the new sphere, to be able to invent that as an opportunity, and many technicians have the technology and they copy the base technology and they innovate that. So in terms of innovating and finding imaginative ways, I think whilst it is a YouTuber and its technology, there are differences, but I think in that sense there are some similarities. Okay, thank you. So there are some kind of common pieces that you've been able to find, right? So now we want to go to our main theme. So DX or digital transformation, especially with the COVID, this is a word that you hear often. And when we talk about innovation, digital transformation, it's very hard to imagine why digital transformation, innovation. So Ms. Shirasaka-san will explain this more in details following this. So this is an innovation conference utilizing AI. So conventionally, brainstorming, which was called, and it was said that in making innovations, there is a limitation if you do that by once. So if you have a couple of people to come up with ideas. So in the past, in Japan, there is a way of saying that is one brain is better than two. Two brains are better than one, but there are people who prefer thinking by themselves, or prefer doing it in a group. So the important parts is that when you think about innovation, so your ideas, whether that's new or not, is you kind of will ponder during the brainstorming. If it's something that you know, if it's an area where you know that whether you're able to determine whether that's new or not. But open innovation is a new word, and many of the companies are coming up with technology and they're making some challenges. There's not enough time, or there's not enough experiences. So at that time, it's very hard to make an objective decision or a speedy determination. And if you think that's new, based on that, you can make innovative conference. But if that was not new, inventive, that no longer becomes important. Similar to what Yachan said, even if you try to push where everybody's already doing it, it's very hard. You're not going to increase new video access. So you have to find an area where people aren't covering, and you have to brush up the idea. So I think the 3 points are the areas that are often called as difficult. So from that perspective, things like Zoom or Meet or online meetings, when you try to conduct that, you do come across issues. So this is something where we're having a conversation, and if you are having a conversation at the same time, so when it becomes like Zoom, if you speak at the same time, the voice kind of stops, or it becomes very crowded. So during the innovation conference, if it's a live brainstorming, everybody speaks at the same time, or people speak in a smaller voice and you're able to speak. But if it's conducted online, only one person can speak de facto. So naturally, there is a limitation. So these demerits, in order to resolve this, when you think about the innovation, you do the search there, and when you just judge what's new and not new, and then you conduct the discussions, is what we are currently doing. So in the remote innovative conference, the power facilitation is the key. At that place, you're able to find the results of the conventional technology. So whether that's new or not, which direction to go, which direction you're going to steer for, to compile that is, I think, going to be very, very difficult. And also, in terms of patent, it's not novelty, but you also have to have whether that's inventive. From an average technician, it has to be something that's not easy. So that objective decision-making will be supported by AI. And even if the patent attorney is not there, it's a framework where you are able to come up with inventions. Thank you. So in real time, we are currently considering innovation at real time. Yachan, when you're taking the videos, are you thinking about many things? Yeah, so for example, after I finish recording the video, and when I'm streaming that, I make the YouTuber decide how much people are going to view. But for example, at that instant when you take the video, if the AI can determine whether that video is going to have a lot of viewers or not. If I know that, I can retake the video. So that will be very useful. So in the solo camp, when you take the video and in the next following morning, to think, I should have done that. You kind of have a remorse or regret the following day. Or it would be better if I know that during the planning stage. So, for example, do you think about the plan? Okay, I'm going to take a video this way going forward. But that's quite difficult. So perhaps if AI can determine after, as soon as I finish taking the video, that'll be great. So the AI YouTuber innovation, we might not see so much, but I hope that I want to apply what you said to AI Samurai and see. So in terms of content, during the solo camp also, so in YouTube, when you put those video streaming, are you able to anticipate how much viewers you're going to have? After 1 hour, I think the analysis completes, and you do have some kind of index. After 1 hour, you have the viewer of that particular 1 hour, and I think the AI analyzes that during that 1 hour. So around this time, you have this much people watching, so we expect that this is going to be the increase in viewers. Wow, YouTuber, is that, and the accuracy, what about the accuracy rate? So it's deciding within the YouTube. So there are things that are popular in YouTuber. So it really depends because it's in the world of the YouTube sphere. And when you put the video on streaming, if there is a music that violates patent, it will also come. Will it also tell you how many times, so for example, 50,000 times or 60,000 times streaming? Is it very clear? No, it's not that clear. It just gives you a rough idea. So for you want to know at the time when you take the video, whether that video, how much video streaming will be conducted. Yeah, that's the kind of numbers, that's the kind of index or numerical number that I'd like to see. Okay, thank you very much. So for AI Samurai inventive stuff, so in terms of video site where you take the video, and in terms of popularity, doing the analysis and see the video watchers. I put that down. So let me look at the right-hand side, right bottom. Click that button. And the AI Samurai, just putting in a sentence, it's able to analysis. So at first, what kind of technology that work comes, it automatically anticipates that technology, and I think there are like 100,000 or many thousands, and it tries to match and compare. This is what we call a claim chart among the patent attorneys, which is not a claim, but a claim. So on the right-hand side is the claim, and on the left is the bibliography. So it says C. So our system has A, B, C, D when deciding the patent. C means it's a little weak in terms of inventive power. So even though it's novel, but in terms of the inventive, in terms of patent, it's slightly weak. So you can also see various bibliography. So it's in karaoke. When you take a video, how much, whether that evaluation is going to be good or not. Is that the thing? So technically, YouTube, I'm not sure whether you can call this YouTube or not, but in terms of the evaluation of the taken video, So it's a dance video. So when Okabe-san was talking about, we talked about camp or camps, but in the world of pretend, the camp in the scene, the situation has to be more concrete, and if you input that as an innovation, the rareness does arise. So Ya-chan, so it's very professional when I say about claim chart, it's very specific. So for us, personal, if there is something that we can utilize as individuals, that'd be good. But so normally, when you go to a camp or when you take all these kind of videos, do you have time when you think about innovation?
Well, innovation? Well, not really. I really don't think of innovation, but I do have a wish. Let's say when I go to a camp by myself, if it's a windy day, I'm wondering if I can lit a fire easily with some kind of innovative tool. So, going back to Ya-chan's innovation, so one innovative idea is to guess number of views per footage, maybe based on history, based on 5 views. Maybe a AI could recommend what kind of videos or what kind of YouTube content that he should create. That may be an interesting idea. Yeah, well, for planning stage, we talked about brainstorming and DX. Well, in case of YouTube, we make a plan and then take a video and then release it. So from ideation stage up until video taking, there may be something that we can do. We do have collaborators. I do have collaborators, and they come up with ideas. That's really nice if we can do more, something like that. For invention, you are alone, and then you do brainstorming with a lot of friends and peers. Yeah, and then develop YouTube contents. Yes. So regarding a production stage, what are the steps that you have to take, and what's the timeline? What's the time frame that you usually follow? I don't know. So for each content, you do everything all at once, or you prepare 3 contents at a time? Well, I usually find ideas in my everyday routine of life, and then let's say, I once release a successful content, and then I may decide to do something similar. I don't plan everything at once. I refer to people's comments and then think of new ideas. And also, YouTube has boom and fads. If I try to do everything by myself or think everything by myself, it's not going to work because I can't think everything. There is a limitation if I try to do everything. So if I could use a system so that I can listen to other people and trend YouTube. If I see everything all at once, that would be great with DX. Do you watch other people's YouTube videos to study? Not really. But I guess I have to study from others to create a better content. That's something that I realized recently. So in the past, you didn't really check others. You were just by yourself. Right. I see. While watching others' contents, as mentioned, we may see some relevance and then look for something new. If I try to find something totally new, it's difficult. You usually make an arrangement on top of what's available. I guess the same goes through to product development. Yeah. In my industry, let's say plasma display is technologically interesting one, but in terms of marketing, it's replaced with liquid crystal display. Plasma display was patented in the past, but today, we put more focus on marketing. OLED is also getting more and more popular. So plasma is not bad in terms of technology, but we also have to think about trend and compatibility. So listening to a story, so YouTube content sometimes does not work if it's not in line with trend in terms of number of viewers. Yeah, if you want to go after the viewers count, that's important. I think you need combination, routine and something, camp and something. So I think a combination of different factors, I think, is needed. I guess same thing for product, new product. So you have to follow trend at the same time. You have to show something new, right? Yeah, we need to satisfy existing viewers and then cultivate new territory, new market. I see. So this may be different from the invention world. So you have old fans and new fans, and they are looking for something different. So that's challenging, right? Yeah. All the fans may say that Yachan has changed. But if you look at Hikakin is actually changing his contents in line with time. That's why I think he has like 20 million followers, really amazing. So he's changing his contents in line with time. So the same goes to business, right? Company changes. So you need the courage to change. You have to be bold. I'm talking to myself, I'm running a business, that's something that I have to do. Yeah, the same thing for invention. So you think about something new, and then the patent office say no, and then there may be something similar, so I have to look for something new. So as long as human beings continue to live, we have to continue to look for something new and change ourselves. Right, thank you. Yeah, YouTube and us have something in common, so I think we learned a lot. So we're running out of time, so let's wrap it up. Your channel. What's your thought? Anything you learned today? Yeah, first when I got contact, I thought what I do is nothing to do with this theme, but when I took a closer look at the document, I found that the process may be similar, although size may be different, but DX concept and what I do may be similar. We do have something in common. Thank you. Okay, last but not least, Shirasaka-san. For viewers, the concept of digital transformation, DX, may be intimidating for some. How should we make use of that? Some people are wondering, how should we make use of this? How should we capitalize on this theme? So can you comment on this? Yeah, I run a company, and for myself, I'm a patent attorney. AI cannot imitate exactly what human beings does. So there is a limitation. But if we use AI, we may get support from AI. I think what's most important is to make sure that AI can support human beings. So when I have a conference call with the US, they said that company that does not use AI or DX will be left behind. That's what people are saying in Silicon Valley in the US and in Japan. Way of working has been established. We have to break a rule and be more proactive, whether it's for AI or online IT service or DX. We need to actively make the best use of it. Well, a digital agency is going to be established in Japan, so Japan has to continue to change. Under COVID-19 crisis, we need to overcome the issue. Otherwise, we would lose opportunity. So moving forward, we hope that we can contribute to digital transformation in Japan. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you for introducing AI Samurai. Those who see some challenges in patent sector, please take a look at what AI Samurai can do. And I hope this session would be useful. Panelists, thank you very much.
これにてセッション
Okay, we will close the session. We will close the session, the digital transformation of invention creation with YouTube creators. Next session will start at 2 p.m. Thank you for your patience.